for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals. There's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Now Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Second down, here's Chubb again. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
There's Beckham, great grab. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Play fake. Mayfield. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he's brought down. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. give to Chubb out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First down, Mayfield. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's got a Bengals 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. I'm here all day.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. That's complete to his tight end, Paulson. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow eluding the pressure right, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Again, it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Peoples-Jones returning. And able to get this out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week. And in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
These two teams all tied after one. Second and 11 now. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mayfield on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A give. This is Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Mayfield looks to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
They'll run with Chubb. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try again with Chubb. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Flush to his right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Burrow.
This goes out wide from Mixon.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. It's Burrow. Caught left side. It's Beckham. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Now this, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Bengals who came away with a victory in that one. So they'll look to take the season series now here at home in Cincinnati. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Go. Hey, number 28, Mike, he's coming, check in.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Everyone got four down. Mike 28. Mike 28. Record.
11. 11. Motion.
To the air again, Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. It's Mixon on the counter, running right through him. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he's going to be brought down short of first at about the 31-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Burrow's throw complete there to Beckham. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 2nd and 7. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Allen. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. First down. Here's Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. He finds his target, Beckham. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
On 3rd down, Burrow.
Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. And when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On first down, Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Check 11, Thomas.
Here's a give to Mixon. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. 11.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Mixon.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's apparent the defense understands the situation. They have to keep them out of the end zone here. That's a great start by them. A loss on that play. Can they force them into a field goal attempt and still give their offense an opportunity?
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Mixon again.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
Their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. And this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw pulled in by Schwartz.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
On second down, Mayfield again. Flushed out right. Finding room to the 20. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him. 0. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw, Mayfield. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Anthony Schwartz
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Browns are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to a field goal.
17, Browns 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. It's caught. Beckham. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Kill.
11.
Now it's Burrow. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's brought down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Here we go. 11 empty.
Again, it's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's long. Touchdown! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Peoples-Jones returning. And he returns this to the 22. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 24, Mayfield. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it.
Got an open man. It's Schwartz.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Mayfield now.
He'll find Schwartz, complete right side.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
12.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Back to Mixon on second down. Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 96 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Under 10.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Second and 8. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds his running back, Mixon. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are right back in this football game. Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I've just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz, 83 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Throwing, Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's long. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Big 13. Big 13. 11 MT paint. 11 MT paint. 12. 12. 12.
Mike 28. Exit. Check
12. 12. 12.
They run the counter. Allen.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
11. 11. 11. 11.
Just like that. Just like that. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up.
They'll give it to Mixon. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
Takes it at the 7.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
At their own 11-yard line.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Mayfield.
Nifty running by Beckham.
Into the hands of Beckham. At 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. Mayfield to throw.
5 yards on it. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Well, we
we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Bengals, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale